Good day everyone, Professor Maple here. We're back on Maple's World doing some mining, doing some crafting, doing whatever the heck happens to come up for the day. Today, actually last episode we kind of did some experimenting with chickens and realized that chicken jockeys, although more likely to spawn when there are chickens around, it doesn't up the percentage a whole lot. And we also did this. We put up, well, part of this. We put up, hello. We put up the first floor of this apartment building that is a scale recreation of, or hopefully to scale recreation, approximately, of a place I lived once. So yeah, on last episode we put up the first floor, including the interior of the lobby, which is the only interior I currently plan to do for this building. And then on live streams, was it one? Was it two? It was no more than two, but it was definitely at least one. I put up the second floor, plus or minus extending the sort of fin bits a bit. But yeah, so if you wanna catch me on Twitch, it's Professor Maple 2 is my channel. No, that's my YouTube channel. Hold on. Professor Maple 1 is the Twitch. I'll put the right one on the screen. And the link will always be in the description as well for anyone who wants to check that out. I don't have a set streaming schedule. It's just kind of a whenever I have the spoons to do it. And yeah, we have a good time there. We have coined the phrase moon time for nighttime if the moon is out. And anything that's not moon time is just not moon time. I guess you have to be there for it to make sense, but anyway, so yeah, so I'm planning on building this more on live streams, as well as doing our chicken jockey hunting with the chicken cannon here from last episode. But yeah, this episode we're gonna go back to the base and work on something there. All right. So yes, at the base there is a thing I want to do because it is long overdue. Those of you who've been watching for a while will potentially remember this. But if we go back here, this is a little embarrassing. On pause till 1.16. That update dropped years ago. That was the Village and Pillage update, if I remember correctly. When we got pillagers, patrols, and all that sort of thing. So this used to be the old school iron farm with the water catchment area and the lava chute and the villager pockets on either side of the doors, because they used to love doors. And then it became kind of useless because iron farms changed and I ripped it out, put one at spawn that was much better, and now it's going to be decorative. It's going to be a bit more of a silly, maybe it is a silly idea, but it's going to be a city for Illagers. For Illagers, he said, as his voice cracked. And I'm sorry, I got morning voice, and am I sorry? No, I like my morning voice. But yeah, we've got this going on here where I've sort of laid out. Well, part of this is still iron farm remnants, and that's kind of gotta get ripped out. But part of this, the stairs and the tower here and whatnot, are the starts of the Illager city. And this area here, I'm going to try to stop referring to these as the word that I've been using, because I think YouTube is mistaking that word for a different similar sounding word, and maybe they're not realizing that I'm not saying the word that they think I'm saying. So instead, I'm going to refer to these shapes as shapes instead of the word I've been using. But and that applies to any shape in the base. So we've got the villager, the village shape there. We've got the sugarcane farm shape. We've got these ocean shapes here. Got the Mount Toiber mountain shape over yonder there. Got the desert shape here. We're gonna try that for however long it takes me to determine if that works or not. And we're gonna see if that changes what I want it to change. And I'm sorry if I sound like I'm trying to be mysterious about this, but I feel like YouTube isn't having my sending my videos to as many people as it should be, and I'm wondering if my choice of words that sound similar to a word is trying to flag as inappropriate is maybe not helping. So everything's a shape now. They're not the old word. They're shapes. So that's the thing I'm trying, and we're gonna see how it goes. But anyway, so we've got all these Illagers kind of captured in these little chambers, I guess you could call them. And we're gonna eventually let them loose in this city shape. But first we have to build the city, because being shot by a bunch of crossbows, a whole bunch, while trying to build doesn't sound like a very easy task or very rewarding to me. So I'm gonna build it and then let all the Illagers loose in here, and they'll either pathfind up to the highest point they can find, or they will pathfind to the lowest point they can find. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. We're gonna find out. And yeah, I don't think this will get done this episode, just like the apartment buildings didn't get done last episode. I didn't even do more than a story of the apartment building, so that might be oh, hi, jump there. Okay, save me a rocket, I don't mind. But yeah, no, that's the plan. All right, and with that being the plan, well, that being the basic plan, let's go over some details here. So I've got a gradient kind of... Wait, what? Maple has a gradient? Professor? You okay? Yes, I'm planning on doing a gradient. This whole city, all three of these shapes are going to be a massive gradient, and hopefully it works out well with it being as big as it is. But I think with like some of the shape we have on some of these walls where it's broken up a bit, it might not be so bad. But we'll see. But yeah, here's our gradient. We're going from black stone to cobbled deep slate and deep slate variants to stone variants. So yeah, we're starting down here with the black stone. I figure with this being the darkest part of the lowest part of the build, it's going to make the most sense for it to be the darkest. And in the middle here, I want to have like this like forge sort of thing where the smoke kind of goes up through that hole in the floor above, and that'll kind of link the two sections and add some motion up there, and and whatnot. And I think that'll be great. So I've marked out how high I want each kind of general, it's not going to be exact, but each general section of the gradient to go. So the black stone goes up to there, deep slate starts there and goes up past the floor here, which means I'm going to have to change all these stairs out, all these walls out. And then the deep slate stops there and the stone continues up from there. So somewhere around here is where that transition will happen here, which means I don't have to rebuild the top like third of this building, which mind you is the fewest blocks, but it's still nice to know that I can just kind of come in and texture it if I want, instead of having to completely redo it. So yeah, that's what we've got going on there. And so I'm gonna need some black wool for carpets for keeping these light sources hidden. I'm gonna need to figure out a bit more of the detail for this forge area, because currently it's just that, and that's not gonna cut it for the final build. And then I guess I've also got some more digging to do for these walls. They've got one block out. They've got to come out. And yeah, that's gonna be a thing too. So I'm just gonna kind of drink my green tea, get to work. Probably not time lapse anything. I can't remember if replay mod is up to date or not. But with how many versions we've been getting lately, I kind of don't blame them if they're not up to date. Oh, that's not quite dug out properly either. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll get this all sorted. I look like a pincushion. Oh goodness. Okay, well, in case you can't hear, we've got some visitors here that I have named, but to save inventory space, they're all named Greg. So the Gregs are now going to be part of this building. Get in there, Greg. There, you're protected now. And you're not in the middle of the block, Greg. Come on. There we go. There's another Greg. And you, I have to place fewer blocks to protect here. There we go. There, now we have three of our future inhabitants just kind of stuck here now till we release them. Greg, and Greg. But yeah, this is what the lower levels look like currently now. I still have to do the tower in black stone, but it's looking a lot darker even just with the walls done. So yeah, I'm expecting it to be pretty dank and miserable once we get to the floor, and the ceiling will be a little lighter than this stuff is, but still darker than the stone brick, I think. So that'll be an interesting vibe. I do think I have it well lit enough that it shouldn't spawn any mobs, but we'll find out. What'd that go red? Did that go red for anyone else, or is that just the sun on my monitor? Maybe it's a sunny day outside. And I'm choosing to spend it inside playing Minecraft. But yeah, no, this is going along pretty well. Taking out the floor because again, that's going to be a lot darker than it currently is. And we've got up to Y58 is our kind of cutoff for the blackstone. And I'll kind of dither it a little bit better than this currently is, just to make it look a bit nicer. And there. All right, now we've got deep slate on pretty much all the places that I'm gonna want deep slate, other than maybe the odd bit of dithering and stuff. A little bit of blending to do between the, like I started there, between the stone and the deep slate bricks. And then if we go down here, it's all black stone now. It's been a week since I've recorded last, so I don't remember if that was the case during the last clip, but we have all the deep slate in now as well, and or the majority thereof. And I like how even in the daytime these kind of don't look too far off each other. Like they look like the black stone's in a shadow from the deep slate. And I like how much darker this whole build feels with these two colors shades added in. But yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. And I think depending on what we do next episode, we might be doing some buildings and construction in here, and instead of just palette swapping sections, we'll maybe get to hopefully building some buildings for these Illagers to live in. Oh, I almost jumped in the hole with them. That would have been bad. But yeah, no, I just got a notification the other day. I've been on YouTube on this channel for 11 years, which is a long time. And I didn't really think I'd get this far necessarily. And it's all with the support of like everyone who's helped me on the way, whether you've watched or said something encouraging or helped me get started with making videos in the first place, or what have you. I very much appreciate you being there for me, and I hope to be making videos for another 11 years or more, preferably more. Yeah, that's for me, that's a big milestone. I couldn't tell you why I missed the 10-year anniversary. That would have been a good one to kind of celebrate. But yeah, YouTube told me 11 years the other day, and I was like, oh, that's a long time. So anyway, I think I'm just gonna, most of the progress we've done here is underground, but I do want to take another look at it from the air. Hello, flying. There we go. It looks so different with all that contrast in there. I think when we get around to putting these buildings in, it's going to look pretty neat. But yeah, again, a lot of the progress is underground. But yeah, no, I think to celebrate 11 years on YouTube, and thank you again for the support in that time, however it may have been, whether it's a view or a like or a comment or IRL support or whatever. Yeah, I think to celebrate, I'm going to take some time away from making this video, so it'll be a shorter video, and hopefully we'll have one for you in September. But yeah, have a good now. Have a good later. And we'll see you next time for more of whatever we get up to. Goodbye.